So, is El Salvador really taking prisoners from the U.S. regardless of their nationality? Here's what you need to know. On Monday, during a visit to El Salvador, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced that El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, had offered not only to accept deportees as part of this effort to ramp up removals from the U.S. of undocumented migrants, but also to accept what he called dangerous criminals, people already serving their sentences in the U.S., even if they're American citizens or legal residents. President Bukele confirmed that offer on X, saying that El Salvador would accept convicted criminals, including U.S. citizens, into their mega prison known as CICOT in exchange for a fee. And while it is just a proposal, it is also unprecedented. A deal like this, if implemented, would require navigating a host of American and international laws on detention and prisoners' rights, not to mention the forcible removal of American citizens. But you should know the mass incarceration in El Salvador has long raised bigger concerns. Nayib Bukele came into power back in 2019, pledging then to crack down on the gangs that had really terrorized his nation for decades, and he did, turning one of the deadliest countries in Latin America into one of the safest. But human rights groups and even the U.S. State Department have criticized what they've described as his brutal tactics, sweeping up more than 80,000 people into this mega prison that he purpose-built. While reporting there last year, I talked to police sources who said that they often arrested innocent people just to meet quotas. I also talked to families whose loved ones they said were innocent, but were still locked away with no chance of getting out. The vice president told me back then in an interview that innocent people would eventually be released. He said some 6,000 people already had when we spoke last February, but that is roughly 1 out of every 10 people that had been arrested and detained. Now, Presidents Trump and Bukele have long had a close alliance. Just days after being sworn in for his second term, Trump and Bukele spoke on the phone. Trump hailed his leadership as an example for the Western Hemisphere. Whether or not the Trump administration tries to take Bukele up on this offer to imprison even U.S. citizens in Salvador and the legal challenges that could follow remains to be seen. But for now, the offer is on the table.
Greetings, back with another video. In this video, I agree with Trump on what he said about the prisoners. The crimes in this country is way too light. These criminals is doing the most. I feel like they should, like, if you keep continuously doing crimes, you should be shipped out to another country to experience the prison life over there, because these crimes these guys are doing, it's just like they just don't care. They just don't care. They do the crime and they get out and do it again. Why should anybody sympathize over somebody who keeps going to prison? I mean, if you keep doing crimes, if you keep disrespecting the law, if you keep doing the most to become a unlawful citizen, disrespecting the law and just having hatred towards society and just keep committing crimes and keep doing it over again, so nobody should sympathize for you. Nobody shouldn't. You should be shipped out to another country and you should learn. You should learn, because it's nobody's job to teach you to be a better person. It's nobody's job but yours. It is what it is. It is what it is. Why should anybody sympathize? These criminals, they do way too much. Setting somebody on fire in broad daylight, just pushing a lady off a bus or pushing someone onto a subway when a train is coming. I mean, that's freaking evil. Why should I sympathize for you? America, you don't appreciate the life here, you should be shipped out. And it is what it is. Nobody should have sympathy for you if you keep committing crimes and you keep thinking you're above the law and you're better than everyone, and you grew up and you had a messed up childhood, so you got to take it out on someone else. No sympathy.